Hi everyone, it's Sarah Fancy here, and I'm doing this video to present to you an alternative to dowsing. The reason I'm doing this is because I see a lot of Spooky 2 users asking questions on the Spooky 2 Ride for Life Facebook page where they're asking for information around how long should I run this frequency, things like that. And the admin usually says, douse for the answer, like douse. And then they say, well, what's that? Okay. And then there's no response. So I want to first tell you what dowsing is for anyone who doesn't know. Um, it's this. Let's go to the next one. So dowsing is a technique to find things such as a water source, lost objects, precious metals, directions, etc. So when I say directions, I mean if you lost your dog or your cat or an animal, you can use the rods, dowsing rods, and say, are they in the west? Are they in the east? Are they in the north? Are they in the south? Or you can turn in circles slowly, and the rods, if it's a yes, they'll cross. Okay. And otherwise, they're straight forward. And then if it's a no, they'll turn out. So dowsing's been around forever, and it was used to find water to make wells. And it's still used to this day because I live in the country and my friend has a well, and the guy that came and put his well in used dowsing rods. This was, what, 10 years ago or something? So people still use it in that way. And then also people might use it to find gold or precious metals. And I do live in an area where there's gold. I mean, there's old gold mines where I live. And anyway, so that would be another way that people would use dowsing rods. And this is what they look like on the right-hand side, this picture here. So to douse, you use dowsing rods, two L-shaped rods that have the ability to swivel independently. So that's important. Here's where you hold the rod on this part, and then this part just swivels independently of this. Okay, so they have to be able to move like that. In the past, people used sticks. Now there are all kinds of rods available. These ones are copper, but anything will work, basically. So don't get caught up in, oh, they have to be copper or whatever. All right, so here you have the diagram on the left, and that's where the rods cross, and that's typically a yes. And when they go outwards like that, that's a no or incorrect direction. So you hold a rod in each hand, and when you are close to what you're looking for, they cross each other. Effectively, that's a yes. And when they swing outwards, that's a no. Okay, so you'd be walking around with the rods like that, holding them, and then they'll move. Okay, to be honest, I have never done it. I've never done it, but I've done the pendulum a lot for years and years and years. So I'm going to tell you about that because that's another form of dowsing is the pendulum. So you can also use a pendulum. You can make your own with something that has weight to it and attach it to a piece of string or metal chain. So I made this. Well, I didn't make it. It was actually a pendant on a chain, and it's a crystal, and it's in copper. And I just use that. I've been using it for ages. If I lose one, I just make one. Essentially, just need something that hangs off a chain like that or a string. You program the pendulum by saying, show me yes, and then show me no. So typically the pendulum will swing clockwise for a yes and anti-clockwise for a no. So that's typical. It might be the other way for you. Then you can ask the pendulum yes or no questions, such as, is this frequency, da 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 da, whatever that is, correct for me? And then you can ask, how long should I run it? 1 day. And then you wait for the answer. 2 days. It's saying no now. 3 days. See what I mean? And when you get the day that it's a yes, the pendulum will swing right. So in saying that, already told you I've used the pendulum forever and ever and ever, but it's not always accurate in my experience, and it can be a little misleading sometimes. So I don't use it that often, really. I have another technique that I want to show you that is way better, way better than the pendulum, in my opinion. Okay. Um, Here we go. I'm just going to tell you what it is. So it's called a constellation. So it's a type of constellations. There's lots of ways that you can do constellations. There's family constellations. There's horse constellations. Okay, that's what I do professionally, right? This is like a paper constellation, and it's also termed as an organizational constellation, okay, as opposed to a family constellation. So this is how you do it, and it's really simple. So I'm going to say it slowly, right? You're going to need 4 pieces of paper, all the same size, all the same color, blank. And they have to be big enough that you can stand on them. So the typical letter size paper works, the one that you put in your printer. So on one of the pieces of paper, you're going to write down the options to your inquiry. Okay, so it could be about a frequency. It could be A equals run frequency for 3 days. B equals frequency for 10 days. C equals other, meaning none of the other, not the other two, something else. Okay, so that's your list. And I'm just using frequencies for an example, but it can be anything really that you want to know. I've used it around whether I should move or not. And based on what it said to me, what the feedback was, I did move, and it was the best thing I ever did. So here we go. So on the other 3 pieces of paper, you're going to write A on one, B on one, and C on the other one. Okay, so each piece of paper is either going to be A, B, or C. And you write the letters in small writing in the corner because you don't want to be able to see it when you're standing on the paper, and you also want it face down so you cannot see what it is. It's very important that you don't know what paper is what. So then you sort of shuffle them, and then you place them face down on the floor so you cannot see the letters. And then you're going to stand on each paper, and then you just notice how you feel. How does your body feel? Okay. Do you feel strong, stable, and balanced? Or do you feel wobbly, weak, and off balance? Okay. So what you're looking for is where you feel vibrant, where you feel most energized. Okay. And, you can make notes on another piece of paper to the side, how you feel, so you can refer back to it. But if it's 3 options, you might not even need to make notes, right? Or if you're working with someone else, they can make notes for you. So basically, the paper you feel best on is the correct one. That's the one that you want to go with. So you turn the paper over and you check to see what letter it is. And then you go to your original list to find the answer. So for example, if it is B, then it's run frequency for 10 days. So your body knows, your body knows. And then you can have fun with it. And with practice, you'll be able to use your body to do your own accurate biofeedback. So there you have it. That's it. It's simple. It's simple and it's great. And, you know, you might think, well, I don't know how I feel, or I don't know how my body feels, but, you know, you just need to be present and get in your body and, you know, see how you feel and ask yourself, do I feel balanced here? Do I feel strong? Do I feel weak? You'll get it. Okay. And this exercise has never failed me, whereas the dowsing has. The dowsing has failed me, I have to say. Although one time I did the pendulum to find someone's watch, he suspected someone may have stolen it. And it was on the phone and he didn't know what I was doing, but I had my pendulum and I was asking, is it in the hallway? You know, in my head, I was asking the pendulum, is it in the hallway? And it was saying yes. And then I'd say, go look in the hallway, go look in the drawer there, look in the drawer third down or something like that. Look in one of your clothing items in there in the pocket. And there it was. So his watch was in one of his clothes. Okay. And he couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it either. But then after that, I didn't have as much success. And I don't know, I guess I was in the zone that day or something. But with the Constellation, like I said, it's always been spot on for me. And you're not dependent on anyone else. You can create your own biofeedback, and that's it. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And I also want to say, you know, I teach constellation work. I mentor people. They come here. I do constellations for them, you know, with the horses. Family constellations, which is very different to what I showed you just now. And it's incredible work. It's from Bert Hellinger. Okay, he's German. He's passed now, and he is the originator of family constellation work. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.